Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. I hope you guys had a good week. I hope you are ready for a great weekend as we dive on into the news. And we have a brand new section today. There are so many data leaks going ahead. Sometimes we put them into security, but we decided to go ahead and pull out weekly data leaks into separate category itself. So our security will handle how people are getting on into these systems and things like that. The data leaks is actually going to be the actual companies that have actually leaked real data. So that is a brand new section. And we also have our AI coming back. So we have 6 news sections today. This will be a good one. We'll try not to ramble a whole lot. We have privacy, security, data leaks, AI, corporatocracy, and SillyVille. Let's go ahead and get started with our first one. Google is to start permanently deleting users' location history. So this is an interesting one. I'm scratching my head going, what's their end game? And there's got to be something crazy in here other than trying to maybe avoid EU fines. That might be their only way of making money. If we just delete this kind of stuff, it's not the case. Of course, they are coming out and saying, yeah, too many people are using location data in weird and funky ways. Of course, don't forget that the Google location data is how that documentary came out a couple years ago, something about a couple thousand donkeys or something. All of that was utilizing Google geolocation data and other geolocation data from other advertising networks and things like that. So maybe Google still has ways of getting that information without directly tying it to Google Maps. That's possibly it as well. But the idea here, as many of us have mentioned here, of course, Louis Rossmann talks about it a lot, is a lot of times by default, Google collects your location data, and unless you explicitly go in there and turn those settings off. So I encourage you to, if you do have to have a Google account, go in there into your settings periodically, clear out old history, datas, and things like that. It's good to do that. But what they're doing now is they were keeping this long track record of history going back to the beginning of Google, really. And they're starting to delete this because people are making a big deal about, can you spot if you're near certain clinics? Can you spot if you're near certain, certain other circumstances? So there's reasons on political aisles, left and right, that they might want to do this. I think it might just be, hey, we're going to save money by not paying as many EU fines with location data. Of course, location data did come up in some of the lawsuits regarding the education systems for kids as well. So there's definitely some elements here, but they say they're actually deleting all the data. They're going to start doing it here soon. This looks until December 1st. So what they're warning people about is if you do have location data and you want to save it, you have to make sure it's on your device. So the way going forward, you can technically save the data and peruse it, but it's tied to your device by default only, does not go into the servers. You will have the option to store that location data in the servers, but they were very clear this is an opt-in option instead of an opt-out option. So everything on the surface from me, this looks like it's actually a really good move. So I support this. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but it does look like Google is making a very positive step in this particular instance. So let me know if I am wrong. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Next up, of course, we love talking about these AirTags because these are like stocking implementations. Well, this guy from Pennsylvania, of course it's from my state. Husband stalks ex-wife with 7 AirTags, the indictment says. They're getting so many AirTags to this guy, they start actually utilizing the AirTags to try and trap him. So the FBI had picked up the AirTags. They keep on coming back and finding more. So they're picking up AirTags. They're tying them all back into phones that they know he has. And some of them, they're putting AirTags at weird spots like certain grocery stores and then staking out the grocery store to see the guy. And they found that in both places, they put AirTags that they pulled off of her car. In both instances, they actually spotted his vehicle driving by that location. So this guy's a crazy stalker, and it would not surprise you to know at the very, very bottom of the article, it says, in a follow-up request on information from the government to detain before his trial begins, prosecutors also revealed that SK may have been brought into the U.S. through a Russian-based human smuggling network, a network of which this dude might be a member. Okay, then. Maybe something about closing borders and stuff might actually help in things like this, but we never really know. They have a jury trial that's going to start for this guy. I don't know what his defense is going to be. Here's the 7 AirTags that they found. They found one of them, SK is the woman. SK provided the first one with no specific location, detail location. And number 2 was duct taped under the front bumper of her car. Number 3 was underneath the car near the passenger side wheel well, wrapped in a blue medical mask. The AirTag was concerned about getting the coof. With number 4, within the frame of the driver's side mirror, wedged between the mirror itself and the casing around it. In an opening, number 5, in an opening within the vehicle's frame, which documents say was previously sealed by a rubber plug that was removed. Number 6 is under the license plate of the car, and number 7, undisclosed. You see, in my opinion, I think that Apple and Google and every other company that makes these, they should have to throw a bunch of money in, equivalent to how many of these tags they had, and give it to make sure every person in the country has a free device, or at least has the option to get a free device to scan for these. So, of course, Google and Apple, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Google and Apple now have figured out a standard, and nearly at least every reputable company, reputable with air quotes, company says they're going to sign on to the standard, and all future tags sold are going to have this standard by which one app on any device and any phone can detect if an AirTag-like device is following you around. The problem is you have to have Bluetooth enabled to do this, and Bluetooth is not something that you should have enabled all the time. There are serious privacy and security complications with enabling Bluetooth all the time. Now, I use Bluetooth when I'm using a headset or maybe speakers or something like that. That's perfectly fine. I turn it on, and Graphene OS has this really awesome feature where I can go into the Bluetooth and I can say, hey, if nothing's connected to this in a half hour, turn Bluetooth off. So I don't have to remember to shut Bluetooth off on my phone. It does it automatically half an hour after I'm done using the Bluetooth device. Well, the problem is I'm not running around with Bluetooth devices on, so if some crazy stalker wants to know exactly where I'm going around the country with driving my van all over the place, well, they can actually do that, and it's a little bit harder for me to identify that. Now, I have seen some early spec models of Raspberry Pis that can be used to detect these, as Raspberry Pis do have Bluetooth modules as well. So that'd be cool to see the future development of those. They're probably getting better by now. I haven't looked for a little while, but I think somebody needs to build a little individual device that I can keep on that can just detect if there's Bluetooth devices nearby that have no other capability of doing Bluetooth other than detecting these devices. That would be an excellent security or privacy thing. And hey, if you want to work with me and give me a little kickback for that idea, if you make $1 million, I'll take it. Just to let you know. But this is how people use it, because Thoreau was right in Walden when he says that our improved technology gives us improved means to reach our own deteriorating ends. And this is why I happen to believe that the human race is inherently sinful. And finally, we have some good commentary on VPNs. 2.5 billion free Android VPN users are at risk of data leaks. 88% of free Android VPNs leak data, 71% share data, according to new research. So here is the problem. Well, first let's get into the article here. It basically just goes into a worsening market. Everyone hears all the time from their favorite guy, Ben Shapiro, but first, use ExpressVPN. Okay, never mind. Guy's a loon. But you hear it all the time, particularly from people who are not tech savvy. Matt Walsh is using ExpressVPN. I use this to protect myself. Matt Walsh had a high-profile hack last year. Okay, clearly ExpressVPN is not saving him. And a VPN is not necessarily designed to protect you from everything. Once you go into your VPN and you log into your Google account and your Facebook account and your Microsoft account, because these people are probably not using Linux, you log into all these accounts. It doesn't matter if you're on a VPN. They still know exactly who you are. Everything is still tied to the advertising networks. The only thing you have accomplished is protecting a little bit of your internet traffic from a few people in between. Okay, VPNs are fundamentally worthless for this principle. They are really great for security. If I go into a coffee shop and I want to use their free Wi-Fi, I should absolutely have a VPN. It's going to protect me in that instance. If I mistrust my ISP, or, I'm on some other network where capable of be snooping, a VPN is a fine thing. But what has happened is all of these guys shilling VPNs for money, and of course I think we might actually still have some affiliates with VPN companies. I haven't promoted any for a while because there's just a lot of weird movement in that industry. But so many people have been pushing VPNs as this is what you need to do to protect yourself. And so people think that this is the magic bullet, but they might go, well, I don't want to express VPN. Let's see. Oh, wow, there's tons of VPNs in the Android App Store. Here is your fundamental problem with a VPN. It requires more trust in your VPN company than any other computer company. Because what a VPN does is it creates a direct tunnel so that every single thing you do on your computer is viewed by whatever computer you're connected to. Effectively, what a VPN was created for is so if I'm working at home and I want to access company or university resources, I use a VPN. I am now as if I'm working from that company's computer or that university's central database, and now I can access all of the resources available to the university. A byproduct of that connection is a secure tunnel that nobody else can see except that end computer you're attached to. Well, if that end computer you're attached to has zero trust because it is a free VPN app, which is making its money by selling your data on whatever one of these companies, guess what? You have actually made your situation worse, not better, because you have filtered everything you're doing into one company, which can scrape up every bit of data. VPNs have come into the zeitgeist, the cultural zeitgeist, because they're being so pushed and so shilled by non-technical people who do not know what a VPN really is fundamentally, and they are told all the marketing stuff. They're told by these companies what to say. This is what to say. This is the script. And we can use yourself. Protect yourself from the internet. Protect yourself from being spied on. Dude, you can still be spied on, and fundamentally you are still spied on if you're using a VPN. It is not, in any way, shape, or form, a magic bullet. Moving on to security news next. Multiple flaws in COX modems could have impacted millions of devices. Sounds like somebody's getting screwed over here. All right, so anyway, researchers discover several authorization bypass vulnerabilities in COX modems that potentially impact millions of devices. So COX is the largest private broadband internet provider, third largest cable television provider, seventh largest telephone carrier in the country, millions of customers, and of course, all of these companies are trying to get you to use their own modems. This is why you always want to have an option to use your own modem. You do not want to use the provided modem if at all possible. On top of the fact they're usually going to charge you a rental fee for using that modem or charge you 3 times what a modem is actually worth. Every possible scenario, you want to use an external modem because these are COX modems. The problem you have with these, it's like Comcast modems and things like this. They get them all bulk discount. They're getting them for a fraction of the cost. They're selling them to you at some fee, but every one of them is fundamentally the same. And with nearly everybody attaching to the internet from certain geographical regions have the exact same devices, it is a high-profile target to hack. And so utilizing these types of things, if you're using their own device and their device has any form of vulnerability, you now have breached everybody using their device. And so in this case, we have a vulnerability which effectively allowed people to get into the system and snoop on all of your settings, which means they know every device and the MAC addresses of the device you're using. They know what your wireless passwords are. All of the things you can access from the administrative dashboard of a modem, you can get inside of this. Now, of course, we're using a modem and router probably interchangeably. Most of these big companies give you a modem router combination for, 10 or 15 or 20 bucks a month, whatever it is. And so that is what's going on over here at COX. So be aware of that. Keep an eye out. Of course, the IP address that the person discovered came from DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean, come on, make sure the scammers are not on there. Block me from using email on your services, yet people are infecting millions of COX routers by using your services. Come on, dude. And we have an affiliate for DigitalOcean. I do use them every month. Maybe they need to figure out a better way to do security. But, of course, if it gets too good, they're collecting more data than I'm comfortable giving up. So, okay, maybe we'll just deal with it. And finally, Microsoft Office documents might be hiding some serious security worries. So it turns out Microsoft Office is the #1 go-to platform for malware distribution. Now, I have to be careful of these because I get like people asking me, hey, you want to be affiliated by these, sponsored by these guys, whatever else. And they're sending me links to these. So it's like, I really got to be careful looking at any of these offers come through. And I'm actually considering fielding a few of those offers. So what I'm actually going to do, high security me, I'm just going to take all of these emails and save all of the links and put them in a separate file and then move them on over to cubes and run them up in a disposable VM to make sure they're actually valid. So that's what we're going to do. But that being said, what we're going to do here is that Microsoft, of course, they're utilizing their AI to completely mess up your systems. They're figuring out how to use AI to cram all sorts of ads in your system, yet they can't use AI to stop the malware being distributed on their Office suite. Isn't that great? So, with this, the report from Codefense says Microsoft Office's omnipresence in the workforce has made it become one of the most popular attack vectors. They're using Office documents in various different ways. So flaws in macros, complex exploits such as CVE 2017 1188-2 and 170199, both were discovered and patched in 17. This is the advantage of doing upgraded software, unfortunately. But they had memory corruption vulnerabilities in Office and other things like that. There's another one that allowed a remote code execution, allowing you to open something up that isn't specifically malicious, but once you open it, it seeks the malicious stuff, thereby evading the early virus scanner checks and things like that. But they're just making the argument that there's so many of these different applications spreading all over the place. And I get hundreds of these a month. It might not be an exaggeration to say I possibly get hundreds of these a week in the various things. I actually thought about compiling them all at one point in time. It might be a funny video. I don't know. So let me know. That's kind of exciting. Well, if you want to help support the channel, we do use affiliates. If I can find my affiliate thing for that, we're doing A2 hosting today. If you are looking for a good hosting platform, you can go ahead and look at A2 hosting. You can start their plans, start at as low as $2.99 a month. And I think these ones renew at $12.99 a month. And of course, the more you pay up front, it's like Mint Mobile. The more you pay up front, the cheaper it actually happens to become. So you can use my affiliate link there, tlm.li/A2H if you need more hosting. They have basic shared hosting, WordPress hosting, VPS hosting, and dedicated hosting if you need that kind of stuff. And they have brief descriptions about which one of these guys are. So you can go ahead and have a look at that link there. If you need a website or a server or anything else, maybe you want to self-host your email on a cPanel platform, you can do all that from A2 Hosting, tlm.li/A2H. And with that, let's have a look at our first installment of our news section. How do you like that photo up there? Data leaks. A debt collection agency, FBCS, leaks information of 3 million U.S. citizens. This is like the type of stuff that's really bad because they have these people because they haven't paid their bills. Like, are you really going to steal this database? You're like, I'm going to try and extract them for money, dude. They don't have any money. That's why they're in this database. So it'll be fun. Of course, you could probably get the database and you might be able to use like an extortion type approach. Collect the information and then you could use this in conjunction with like social media things and say, if you don't pay me, half a Bitcoin or something, I'm going to go and tell all your friends and family about your debt problems here. That's a variable thing. And that's actually why we have the Fair Debt Collection Act prevents you from doing precisely that. You're not really allowed to call up family members of people in debt and say, hey, that so-and-so is a deadbeat and he owes us this much money. You're not allowed to do that. So in this case here, from this group, they got full names, social security numbers, birth dates, account information, and driver's license or other state ID numbers. So there is that. If you happen to have any calls from these guys, just know that 3 million people had their data stolen. Not to be outdone, Advanced Auto Parts leaks their customer and employee database. This is part of the Snowflake attack. This was actually the first time I looked at the Snowflake attack because I'd never heard of them. I'm like, who uses Snowflake? It turns out about everybody, and there seems to be fundamental problems because I think 5 of the high-profile data leaks we saw in the last couple weeks have all been from Snowflake. So it would appear that Snowflake itself is sheerly compromised. Of course, they say the problem is that the company itself was not securing the data. And because what they say is kind of like the old AWS model. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have an AWS leaky calendar. Of course, even after AWS made changes, we still have constant leaky calendars. So who knows what the issue is there. Threat actors claim to be selling 3 terabytes of data from Advanced Auto Parts, leading to automotive aftermarket parts providers stolen after breaching the company's Snowflake account. Advance operates 4,000, whatever. Okay, you know that. Okay, so all of a sudden that 3 million customers isn't so bad. 380 million customer profiles, names, email addresses, mobile numbers, mobile phone numbers, addresses, and more. 140 million customer orders, 44 million loyalty and gas card numbers with full customer details, auto parts and part numbers, sales history, and employment candidate information with social security number, driver's license numbers, demographic data, and transaction tender. They also mentioned they're selling stolen information of 358,000 employees. The company currently has around 68,000, which means it's an outdated list. So if you have ever worked for Advanced Auto Parts, you might be on this list. Yay! Isn't that enjoyable? So they go into a little bit of the detail about how this happened. Effectively, they said it's misconfiguration of the Snowflake account, but apparently everybody misconfigures their Snowflake account. Santander Bank, Ticketmaster, they have had Snowflake leaks. Company confirmed joint advisory, and I think there were a couple other ones as well. So Snowflake has a couple problems. The flake is melting, folks. The flake is melting. So with that, oh boy, hopefully you're not caught up in any of those. But those are our data breaches of the month. And of course, we have to dive on into AI next. See how our AI overlords are going to enslave, imprison, destroy us, or just turn us into blithering idiots. Well, Google Play cracks down on AI apps after the circulation of apps for making deep fake art? Nike pictures. Of course, there's been a lot of apps coming around that allows you to basically snap the app at somebody, take a picture, and quote-unquote take their clothes off and things like that. They've been really big problem running through like middle schools. This is causing fundamental problems. You understand why I'm so against AI. This is utter nonsense. And so Google is now trying to say, yeah, if you have AI, we're going to put in extra steps. Even if your app doesn't explicitly allow you to do this type of content, if it promotes to be able to do this type of content, they're going to take it down. Allegedly. They say they're going to rigorously test these things, but who knows what that's going to do. They say they're cracking down on apps where marketing materials promote inappropriate use cases, like apps that undress people or create non-consensual nude images. If ad copy says the app is capable of doing this sort of thing, it may be banned from the Google Play Store, whether or not the app is actually capable of doing it. And so schools across are reporting problems with students passing on AI deepfake nudes of other students and sometimes teachers, bullying, harassment, alongside other forms of inappropriate AI content. Last month, a racist AI deepfake and school principal led to an arrest. I did not hear about that one. That was, I'm sorry, I did hear about that. That was the coach who got mad because the coach embezzled $2,000 from the school to give to his friend and roommate. And when the principal was investigating it and there was overwhelming evidence of the crime, the coach made a deep fake of the principal saying racist things, and it actually caused absolute chaos in the school district. So they're actually charging the coach, of course, I think with felonies, if I recall. I can't remember that fine of the details. But yeah, this is the problem. This is why like AI is not being used. Like I cannot point to serious positive use cases where AI is doing a great job helping in good things in the world. but I can point to hundreds of these types of things. And as I'd written in some of the articles I wrote for the stream, the reason is that bad news sells in our society far more than good news. You're not inclined to find good news on any types of things. You're inclined to find bad news. And these AI are trained on the publicly available internet of our culture, which means our AI models, which are feeding us this information, is explicitly trained on the worst parts of humanity. AI is going to lead to bad negative consequences. Call me a Luddite if you want, but I don't really want to touch it because of how detrimental this can be for society. And while, yes, there should, in theory, be some positive use cases, I think in the case of AI, it needs to be globally banned. Now, that's not going to happen because if everybody but, one country does it, that one country is going to have some, serious advantages. But we have opened up Pandora's box that will end in nothing more than the destruction of our humanity. If nothing else, too. I mean, the true climate change, right? There's so much stuff. Anyway, I've been using Google search for 25 years, and AI overview is one thing that could ruin it for me. This is an op-ed piece and an opinion from Lance Ulanoff from Tech Radar. And he says after 25 years of using Google, he is done with it because they're cramming this AI overview nonsense that does not understand the difference between truth and reality. It can't understand satire, which is why it leads us when you're talking about, hey, how do I keep my cheese off from sliding off my pizza? It says just add some glue to the crust. Okay, we have found that in some instances, AI overview is showing people articles from The Onion as if it were true. And in other instances, we see it taking in posts explicitly designed to troll the AI. So there are some serious fundamental problems with AI. And what Google is doing, as one person, I can't remember, maybe it was this article here, where they get into here and they're saying the big challenge that we had with this is that while AI can do these types of things, we don't want to cram it absolutely down everybody's face, because when you start doing that, and it doesn't give good responses, it starts to really denigrate your product. So if Google wants to have AI as part of the search engine, fine. Just don't make it the only thing where you have to click 2 extra buttons to get just the web results. Like, even if they did AI, here's your primary, and your web results is number 2, you just click web when you get in there, then you can get around that. The problem here, of course, is they put it so far over on the menu. If you go to Google and search something, you have to click more and then click the button. Now, there is actually a way around it. I think it's UDM 14 as a URL parameter that, at least for a while, was not working. Let's go ahead and go to google.com. And we'll come up here and, sure, triple berry frosty Wendy's. Here's top stories. So I don't know, are they changing things, or do I just have my system more locked down? Oh yeah, you have to click the more and then down here for the web to get stuff. Maybe that's just too specific. Let's search for Linux maybe. Here's linux.org. So I don't know, did they make more tweaks and changes in response to this? I don't know. I don't use Google enough to know for sure. Did they pull this out, or is this looking old, or are my browser settings such that it's actually showing us good, useful results? I have no earthly idea. Although I can confirm last time I did have to jump on Google, I did see that AI nonsense. So I'm not making it entirely up. I'm not totally ignorant about what this guy is talking about. But that being said, if you want to help support the channel, you can pick up something like a hat like I got right here. I also have amazing mouse pads and things like that. So there's lots of cool stuff that I have over here, t-shirts and things like that. I even have baby onesies with aliens on them. They'll mess with your mother-in-law. You can pick those up, shop.switchedtolinux.com. We have a lot of fun stuff over here. There's hats. There's actually some computer bags now. There's specific organic products. We have caps and hats, bags and baskets. We even have computer backpacks. We have canvas bags. We have recycled duffel bag. Lots of cool stuff over here. So you can have a look over there, get all sorts of fun merchy type stuff. What's this? And a pouch. Ooh, fun. That looks fun. I should get me one of those. I have lots of pens and stuff. That'd be very useful for the van for loose things floating around. Anyway, you have a look over there, shop.switchedtolinux.com, and find all the fun, swaggy stuff that I like to wear doing the show. With that, guys, let's head on over to business news next. First up in business news, Spotify is doing even more to anger its users after, of course, dropping off its the car thing after only a very short, I think only, was it 18 months or was it only like 10 months or something it was running? I forget. Very short period of time. And then after some pressure, if you can absolutely prove that you paid for it, and the cycle of the moon is right, you might get your money back for that nonsense. But now they're raising their prices again. Now, for the first 11 years, they didn't raise their prices at all. They raised their prices last year. Now they're raising their prices this year. And guess what, guys? It looks like every single company raises its prices once a year these days. We're seeing that with cPanel. That's why I'm looking at cPanel alternatives. Right now, cPanel is getting so crazy. They are jacking up the price. I am almost paying twice what I was for cPanel 5 years ago when I spun up my own servers for the first time. It is that expensive. It is getting outrageously, obscenely expensive. And we're seeing all this nonsense where every service is now doing this. Of course, we own nothing. They want us to just use the services, but then the services cost so much that it comes to the point where we don't own anything, but we can't even afford the usage fee for their particular services. So yeah, it gets even worse all the same. But even more worse, they're raising the prices, justifying it to bring the latest things to you. But the majority of their people are saying, dude, I use Spotify for music. I don't want podcasts. I don't want audiobooks. Now, I'm a little partial to this. All of my books are available on Spotify's podcasts because Spotify purchased, in fact, it's listed down here, for $123 million, they purchased the Findaway Voices. Findaway is one of the two audiobook distributors that I use. Between that and ACX, everywhere you can buy an audiobook on the planet, I sell my audiobooks, so you can buy all my audiobooks. And I have Christian ones for those that like that, or I have the science fiction synaptergy, and we will, by the end of the summer, have a new science fiction audiobook for sale, which is a collection of our short stories. But Spotify purchased Findaway, and I initially thought this is going to be problematic. The challenge is with Spotify pushing out the audiobooks on their platform, I have actually now been earning royalties every single month because you can listen to my audiobooks. If it's part of your subscription service, I'll get a small cut out of that subscription service. If it's part of the free platform, then it's ad supported and I will make the ad revenue on it. And so I'm actually seeing money from Spotify every single, is it every quarter? I think they're doing like a quarter, like every quarter now, whereas it used to be I might see royalties come through maybe twice a year. I don't even think it's a quarter. I think it's actually more monthly. I am making a lot more. So I like this move, but some other people don't. Now, to be fair, they only have 2 people in here complaining about it. That makes sense. Clearly, somebody's listening to these things. If you have Spotify and you didn't know you could listen to my audiobooks on the platform, hey, now you know, right? Go listen to my audiobooks. But with that, some people are frustrated about that. So maybe they need to create a plan that's a music only and maybe a Spotify Plus music, podcasts, audiobooks. Maybe I only want this for podcasts and audiobooks and have a cheaper plan just for whatever it happens to be. But they are irritating people by raising the price, having a single product, and then cramming in things that at least some cross-section of their user base don't want. And so it's becoming a little bit of a fight. I think nearly every single service is trying to be every single other service. Now Twitter's trying to get into short form video content to compete with TikTok, and now Instagram, and now YouTube Shorts and all this other nonsense. You guys were lucky something didn't work today. I was going to release a short, but something didn't work, so I didn't bother. So you're lucky. Yeah, I spared you a short on this channel by something not working, and I just didn't want to invest the time in it. But anyway, that's what Spotify's up to, another $3 a month. Instagram confirms the test of unskippable ads. Isn't this great? You're scrolling through your Instagram feed and now you have an ad that you have to watch. Wait until these 20-minute videos are unskippable. You land on a 20-minute video. You got to watch a 20-minute video. Now, some people, nearly everybody who has gotten them so far is taken to Twitter to complain. And so we're seeing a lot of people over here going, yeah, this is kind of problematic. Reddit post clarified, if you click the info icon next to the ad break, you'll see a message that reads, you're seeing an ad break. Ad breaks are a new way of seeing ads on Instagram. Sometimes you may need to view an ad before you keep browsing. So as you go doom scrolling, you'll eventually be stopped to be sold something before you can doom scroll further. There you have it, guys. Isn't that great? It's kind of like the unskippable YouTube ads. Of course, if you do get an unskippable YouTube ad, well, first and foremost, why are you not using Brave, uBlock Origin, something that gets rid of those? Or, hey, just buy the YouTube Premium if you want, I guess. Or you can generally just refresh the page, get another ad that you can skip that one. There's options. We got options. So there is what we're seeing on that. Instagram experimenting with unskippable ads. Does that sound fun to you? I'm not sure much of my audience uses Instagram anyway, but let me know. And finally, Google changes their repair policy after criticism of third-party parts ban. This does appear directly related to the Louis Rossmann video, if you did not watch that, where he tore apart Samsung's, and then a couple days later, he looked into the Google one, and Google's repairs program had a line in it that said, if you send your Google phone into Google for repairs and it has a non-Google part, they wouldn't even send the phone back. They'd be like, nope, it's not it. Which to me sounds like theft. It sounds like, okay, my device was broken. I sent it into you. You failed to send it back to me. That sounds to me like you probably have a fairly good case for theft charges against them. That seems interesting to me. But after the Louis Rossmann video went absolutely viral, as Louis Rossmann videos tend to do, and a lot of people started asking around about it, a Google spokesperson came up and lied this. We know they were lying because their mouth was moving. They said if a customer sends in a Pixel to Google for repair, we would not keep it regardless of whether it had non-OEM parts or not. In certain situations, we won't be able to complete a repair. If there is a safety concern, in that case, we will either send it back to the customer or work with them to determine the next steps. Customers are also free to seek their repair options that work best for them. We are updating our terms and conditions to clarify this. Okay, so if they literally actually change their terms and conditions, this is an excellent thing. Congratulations to Louis Rossmann for bringing attention to this, and Louis Rossmann can change Google's plan by this. This is why, by the way, when we're doing videos calling out recall and foolish decisions that distros do and things like that, when we start seeing those types of approaches, and you might see 15 creators report on the same thing, don't look at it and go, I've already seen that topic, I don't need to see it again. Now, granted, you may not want to necessarily watch that particular video if you've already seen 5 other people do the same take on it, or hey, maybe you should watch it because they might have something in their take that other people missed, or some take on it that is unique. You might have that, but the more of us get on and start getting after this stuff, the greater the outrage becomes, and the greater chance it is that we can actually do something and actually change. So good on Louis Rossmann and everybody else who also did videos about the Google and Samsung and other repair services, because in many of these cases, we can get them to change their opinion. Look at what Apple was trying to do with CSAM. It was all of the privacy channels, like we covered it and other people covered it as well. All of that kind of stuff, they put that off because of serious outcry. The companies will do this nonsense and they will keep doing it unless they get so much pushback. This is why we need to keep doubling down on recall. Windows has got to end that crap. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they go, yeah, this was a really stupid idea. We're going to pull that crap out. But no, it's Windows. They're going to double down on nonsense. Give us more content. Bring it on. The Windows videos have been great for our channel. Let me know in the comments if you came here because you watched one of my Windows videos and you didn't know I existed beforehand. That'd be interesting information to have. Let me know in the comments or on the live chat here for the live show. With that is our news. Of course, if you want to help support the... Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not our news. My Lord, I forgot your favorite place and mine. We got to go to SillyVille. My apologies, folks. I thought we were missing out on stuff. All right. So we have someone found a wild new way to deal with porch pirates. I have to say, I've watched this video and I think this is made up, but it's hilarious. So we're going to go ahead and watch it. So this guy, it says there's nothing more satisfying than a hilarious clip of thieving thugs receiving his just dessert. So here is the video. I'm going to start it. I'm going to actually turn it down quite a bit because it's super loud. Well, maybe it's not super loud. No, it's not super loud. I don't know if that's copyrighted noise, though. We're going to turn that off. All right, so this guy runs up. He sees this thing. Ooh, let's go ahead and run up, and we're going to grab the package, and we're going to steal this bad boy package, and then boom, we have a fireball going on. Oh, my God, we're all going to go down. Ah! Really hilarious. Very fun. All right, let's watch that again. Okay, so we have that coming in. We have that guy coming in. He's running back up. And here's how I know that this is completely fake. Okay, so we have this angle of this. Yet, when we come over here for this part here, he drops this package. Okay, notice that the fire does not come from the package. The package lands here, the fire starts over here, and it's always the package is in front of him. I beg you, how did the back of a leather jacket, which leather resists fire, how does the back of a leather jacket get on fire? What is going on over here? This video is totally fake. Totally fake, but absolutely hilarious. So we had to cover it. All right. But that being said, just a warning, it is actually illegal in many places to booby trap a house in a way like this. Something like your glitter bomb may not be illegal because it's not physically dangerous to you. But anything you might do to make a physically dangerous trap is generally illegal. And the reason for that is if there's some emergency circumstance and a medical professional has to bust into your house and they get caught up in the weird bow and arrow you have on your door, gets shot through the heart like a vampire or something. Yeah, that's a serious problem. You don't know who it is. Of course, maybe we need to change some things around and be like, criminals need to do whatever else. They say this is let's see. Seriously. Okay. Here's another version with some added sports commentary. I don't know if I want to play that one. I don't know if this one's going to be copyrighted or not, but it is quite hilarious. The guy's doing it as a sports commentary view. And then, of course, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. So people are saying this is the people's comments. Obviously, I don't do this, but hilarious. Staged, but still funny. Playing Coconut Mall from Mario Kart makes this and feel all the more enjoyable. Probably illegal, but great entertainment. Your Honor, my client made an honest mistake of forgetting that he ordered some electric dog collars and ether gas in the same Amazon order. It was a simple mistake, but a hilarious one. Only obvious thing about your post is that it's awesome, and this appears to be doctored. So there you have it. Of course, here we have a list of the top 10 places for your porch pirates. Notice that they are all Democratic hellholes. But there you have it, guys. Apparently Seattle's the worst, so there you have it. Great to see those policies doing great things to fix up the world. On to our final one. This is serious and even more sad, more stupid, smart stuff. Or is it smart, stupid stuff? I don't know. So Oral-B, of course, a couple years ago, 2022, Oral-B sold an AI Alexa toothbrush. Now, granted, it wasn't AI. If you remember 2 years ago, this was right before AI, ChatGPT has launched. Everybody was cramming AI into everything they do. Even though it was Alexa, it wasn't AI. Okay. But the $400 Alexa powered toothbrush, which basically this stand is effectively an Echo Dot. And but it was waterproof, so you could safely have it in your bathroom. So you have a $400 Oral-B electric toothbrush with an overpriced Echo Dot, because of course an Echo Dot is like $50, so whatever. But then you had to have a separate companion app to do anything with this thing. Well, they've just decided to discontinue the companion app, and without the companion app, you cannot connect this thing to the internet. So if your internet goes down, it doesn't apparently automatically reconnect. And so it says, go and use your app. And so now people have a device that cannot use the app, that cannot really do anything other than be an overpriced toothbrush. So Oral-B still has an app for its toothbrushes. They just don't have the particular features of this Alexa built-in app inside of that particular application. So now people, whatever people have bought this thing, has spent $400 to have about a year and a half's worth of an AI-powered toothbrush that can no longer do AI. Now, why do I need an AI toothbrush? It's things like, their example were things like, to have a truly connected bathroom. Like, I'm having trouble connecting, what was it? Where's the funny line at? Basically, their idea was you could talk to Alexa like, oh, I'm almost out of toothpaste. Hey, Alexa, order toothpaste. So, yeah, that's going to work. Hey, Alexa, order toothpaste. What is the nonsense? I need to play my music. Dude, you can buy a waterproof Bluetooth speaker, I promise you, for under $100. I've never bothered. I don't know. Should we look it up? All right, let's see. Let's do a waterproof Bluetooth speaker, because, people are using this to sing their, songs or whatever else. Let's see. Here's a JBL waterproof Bluetooth speaker. Here's an Amazon waterproof Bluetooth speaker. Let's see what these guys are. $33, $49, $42. These are even designed to hang in your shower. Here's $139. Yeah, nothing's coming close to our $400 price point for our overpriced toothbrush. What does an electric toothbrush cost? Let's do an electric toothbrush. Probably not much. $40. Okay, so for $100, I can have an electric toothbrush and a waterproof Bluetooth speaker. Now, I can't talk to it directly, but at least I can play my my music. So, whatever that happens to be worth, I know it's crazy. But there you have it, guys. Our world is so stupid. We spent $400 on this device, which is now closed down. Of course, I've not seen Louis Drossman comment on this one, but the video might be right around the corner. Who knows? Because now people paid $400 for a toothbrush that you can't use for the Alexa stuff built in. Nonsense. All right, well, if you want to help support the channel, we do have our various supporter networks. Say we are featuring locals, switchedtolinux.locals.com. You can jump on over there. Our latest short story is posted on over there, and also on Patreon, Subscribestar, and Think Life Media as well. With that, though, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap this show up here. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments down below. Did you come over to this channel? Did you learn about this channel and are sticking around for a while because of the recent Windows videos we've done? Curious to know. With that, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you all next time.